Okay, so this piece dives into debunking Candace Owens' recent claims, specifically looking at those pixelated text messages and her statements about the Charlie Kirk interview topics.
Right. And we need to talk structure right off the bat, because this is supposed to be high-impact stuff, right?
Absolutely. You've got strong material here.
But that opening, it kind of buries the lead. It needs to hit harder, faster.
Which brings us to our first point, maximizing audience alignment by eliminating unrelated preamble.
Yeah, you gotta respect why people clicked. They're here for the controversy, the debunking.
Exactly. So the opening needs what? Immediate streamlining? Jump right into the core issue?
Mm-hmm.
Because right now the script spends, what, several minutes on a really quite emotional reflection? Remembrance Day, veterans, personal stuff.
Even the Sabaton song, yeah.
And look, those sentiments are clearly genuine, deeply felt, but they create this pretty significant thematic disconnect.
A total disconnect. It's jarring. Moving from that to a political credibility critique, the listener's just waiting.
And that weight kills the momentum. So what we suggest is, well, pretty simple, really.
Just get to the point. Either move directly to the conflict, or
If you really want to keep that theme of truth and sacrifice,
you gotta weave it directly into the main topic. Make it part of the setup for the Owens critique, not this separate prelude.
okay, yeah. So concrete examples. Instead of the standalone intro, maybe start with something like, the sacrifice of truth. That's the price when public figures lean on shaky evidence.
Right.
And today, we're looking at texts that just don't pass muster. And boom, you're right into the pixelated message.
Or, like you said, if keeping the Remembrance Day knot is absolutely essential, just shrink it way down.
Like a 10-second bridge.
Exactly. On a day meant to honor clarity, let's examine a recent lack thereof. Something super quick that pivots right into the main event. Keeps a bit of the weight, but gets things moving.
That feels much tighter. Definitely improves the pacing. Okay, so we fixed the start, but what about the core evidence itself, those texts?
Ah, yes, the pixelated receipts, which leads to our second point, strengthening the visual evidence critique by addressing the burden of proof.
Okay, so the critique of the messages now, it's compelling. It definitely raises eyebrows.
It does. It makes you suspicious, which is good. But it could be, let's say, rhetorically stronger, bulletproof, almost.
How so?
Compression, and shifting the focus a bit.
Shifting from?
From just the visual weirdness, it's pixelated, that name looks funny, the 40 unread counter seems off, to something more fundamental.
Because right now, those points, while good flags,
And they leave an opening, right? She or someone else can just say, oops, bad filming, or YouTube did it.
fair point. It relies a bit on us inferring why it's obscured rather than proving it's deliberately misleading.
Exactly. So what the critique needs is to treat that pixelation not just as, poor quality, but as a deliberate or at least highly suspicious omission of crucial context.
An omission, okay?
Yeah. Challenge what she was actually trying to prove with those specific messages, and then hammer the point that the blurriness makes it impossible for anyone to verify that specific thing.
Right, so it shifts the burden. It's not just why is it blurry, it's you showed this as proof, but the key information needed for proof is unreadable. So what are you hiding, or why is this even evidence?
Precisely. It reframes it. It's about forensic completeness, not just visual aesthetics.
So, for example, you'd ask, okay, what was the stated goal here? Proving a timeline? Showing a specific tone?
Yep, and then you zeroing. Well, the pixelation makes reading dates impossible, or we can't actually see the conversational thread to judge the tone.
Which makes the receipts useless as proof regardless of whether they're real or not.
Exactly. Functionally useless for the stated purpose.
And then for that high-res screenshot that's still pixelated, that's a key moment.
Huge moment. Don't just point out it's blurry. Ask the sharp question.
Like?
Okay, you had the clear source material. Did this specific message contain anything like a verifiable timestamp or some clear contextual phrase that would actually support your claim? Because you chose not to show it clearly.
Ooh, that puts the onus squarely back on them.
Yes.
It highlights the failure to provide verifiable proof, not just a potential technical glitch.
Much stronger. It demands accountability for the content, not just the image quality.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, let's talk about the strongest piece of evidence you have, the emails.
Right. The CNN stuff, which leads us to the third point, calibrating rhetorical intensity to match evidence strength.
This feels really important for the overall impact.
It absolutely is. You can make this whole piece hit so much harder by strategically using the undeniable evidence versus the more circumstantial stuff.
And the weakness currently is
Well, it kind of treats everything with the same level of intensity, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. The critique of the pixelated texts, which relies on visual suspicion and inference,
Mm-hmm.
gets presented with almost the same weight as the proof of the CNN lie, which is based on those emails Ellie Braid provided. Hard, documented evidence.
And the CNN agreement, that's not suspicion. That's documented. Her team agreed to the Kirk questions. She denied it. The emails prove it.
It's an irrefutable contradiction, whereas the texts are, well, a suspected fabrication or obfuscation. By treating them equally,
You dilute the power of the knockout punch. You water down the best evidence.
precisely. So the suggestion is, again, pretty straightforward. Resequence it.
Lead with the strong stuff.
Lead with the documented lie. Use the hard evidence first. Those CNN emails showing her team specifically agreed to the Kirk questions she later claimed she refused.
Okay, so you establish a clear, proven pattern of dishonesty right up front.
Yes, and then, once that pattern is established,
You introduce the pixelated texts.
exactly. As a secondary example, frame it as part of this established pattern of, intentional obfuscation or playing fast and loose with evidence.
That makes the text message critique much more powerful act. It's not just a standalone suspicion.
It becomes supporting evidence for a demonstrated behavior. So, concretely, structure it to lead with Ellie Reeves' emails. Show the dates, the explicit agreement on Kirk questions. Nail that down first. Irrefutable.
And the transition is key here.
Crucial. Use the emails as the launch pad. Something like, okay, given this documented discrepancy regarding the CNN agreement, which clearly shows a public statement contradicted by written evidence, well, that provides a vital framework for looking at other evidence presented. Now let's turn to those text messages.
Ah, I see. It sets the stage. It tells the audience, we've already proven dishonesty once. Now let's see if this other thing fits the pattern.
You got it. And don't forget that timeline issue.
Right. The shift from a few days after Kirk's passing to 20 days after.
Use the email dates again. The agreement was September 22nd. He passed September 10th. That's hard evidence showing the narrative changed.
So you hammer that point home too, reinforcing the pattern established by the main CNN email point. It's another concrete, factual inconsistency.
Exactly. It becomes another brick in the wall of demonstrable inconsistency. These changes, resequencing, calibrating the intensity, they take it from a strong critique to a really robust, almost forensic argument. Much harder to wave away.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's quickly recap the three main areas for improvement. First, tightening up that opening.
Yep. Either cut the unrelated preamble or weaves its theme directly into the main subject. Get to the point faster.
Second, strengthening the critique of the pixelated texts. Shift from just visual suspicion
To a strategic challenge about the omission of verifiable context. Put the burden of proof back where it belongs.
And third, recalibrating the rhetorical firepower.
Hit them with the hardest, undeniable evidence first, those CNN emails. Use that documented lie as the anchor for the rest of the critique.
Makes perfect sense. These adjustments should really ramp up the impact and the logical solidity of the whole piece.
Definitely. It ensures your best shots land first and set the tone for everything else.
Great. We definitely encourage you to refine the material with these suggestions in mind. And, feel free to send it back our way for another look.